Our panelists, Mr. Alok Rungta, Mr. SLP Sanjay Kumar, Raj K. Rajput, Mr. D. Prasanth Nair, and Mr. Nitin Khindria. A very warm and hearty welcome, sir.
So very warm good morning to everyone. How's the Josh? Is this the high? We need very vibrating energies here, right? So even if it's a panel, it's going to be two-way exchange of energies. Some knowledge is going to come here, and the knowledge is going to get absorbed. So let's keep the energies high. So very warm welcome to wonderful Bharat Shining Conclave here by Brand Vista. And this is me, your moderator for the day, Dr. Munish Jindal. So I'm really glad to host this panel with all the wonderful dignitaries, the stalwarts of their domains. It's a privilege to host each one of you, sir. So when we're talking about Bharat Shining, it's a privileged moment for me because I remember year 2005, I left Australia, whereby I had been offered a hefty package and a residency to come back to India, and the dream was this, Shining Bharat, right? And that is what together, collaboratively, we all are making it possible, right? And I still remember we had a brief interaction with the government bodies when they talked about Viksit Bharat 2047. My first question was, why still 2047? This was in year 2024. I said, why we still need to wait for another 22, 23 years? Why not 2037 or why not 2027? So here we are all gathered together for the same purpose. And thank you so much. Let's have a huge round of applause for these wonderful dignitaries. Keep the momentum going. So we have wonderful Alok Rungta, sir, Mr. SLP Sanjay Kumar, sir, Raj K. Rajput, sir, Mr. D. Prasanth Nair, sir, and Mr. Nitin Khindria, sir, with us. And it's indeed a privilege to host each one of you. So when we're talking about, sir, say, the Shining Bharat, obviously, each one of us, we are proud to be Bharati, right? That is how we see each other. That is how we associate to our, I would say, motherland. And then when we're talking about the Bharat role in global partnerships, right, and global prospects, it's obviously about investments, global role that we play in the international arena. So how dynamically India is shaping that when we're talking, because for sure, we are becoming that supreme power globally. I believe all my panelists would agree to that. So I would love to know from Mr. Alok Rungta, the Managing Director of Generali Central Life Insurance, that when we talk about the strategic capital flows and insurance, how can life insurance like Generali play a catalyst role in channeling both domestic and foreign capital into long-term productive investments that support Bharat growth and global partnerships?
So good morning and thanks for this opportunity. See, if you look at the latest report from the Ministry of Finance, insurance has a AUM of around 7 lakh crores, right? Now, this is the retail money which we galvanize from every corner of the country and is redeployed in long-term assets for building of the nation, right? So if you look at total GSEC outstanding of the government, 1/3 is owned by insurance companies. So in a way, life insurance is enabling the government and the economy in galvanized retail investment and deploying back for long-term asset building, for long-term capital projects, for long-term outflows, right? I think that's a big role. And we need those as the country is looking forward to create an asset base to a longer, larger amount and go deeper from the hustle and bustle of the metros and tier ones. I think that's where the growth comes. So capital formation is something which we actively participate. Also, if you look at employment generation through which skill building is happening, and companies like us, which are MNCs, where the foreign capital is also flowing in through FDIs, I think that's a massive role in galvanizing all the energies from a long-term perspective, right? Because we believe ourselves in a long-term business, and our assets, for us, for example, our company, our average asset book period is 15 years. So we hold assets for 15 years on the asset side. Obviously, our liabilities are also longer. And that's where we contribute differently. Because maintaining that kind of capital flow is important. And then obviously from an insurance risk cover, see, the ability to take risk is high if you know there is a cover to it. So it is an enablement for all our SMEs, entrepreneurs who want to take risk, because they feel there is some cover for financial challenges. And we live in VUCA world, so there are a lot of uncertainties we live in. While you can't hedge everything, but there are some aspects of which you can hedge. And hence gives a lot of confidence or booster to the growth aspect, that if I take a loan, can I get a credit risk? If I'm buying a house, can I get a housing loan cover? And that's also enabling every household for their own financial stability. Because when you say about 2047 Viksit Bharat is only possible if every household is Viksit. If every household believes that they have security, they have assets which they can invest in, their assets are properly managed, and that's where we play a large role. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Rungta Saab, this is really incredible. And the most valid point that I loved is that when you said that we are moving beyond tier 1 cities. So that is how we can shape a global Bharat when we move beyond tier 1 to tier 2, tier 3, and balance out the parity between I would say, the cities and the rural area. So that's incredible. Then, as you mentioned, we are in the VUCA world, right? So I'd always say that it's all the superhumans like us present in this room who are creating a stable world in that VUCA world. So thank you for your deep insights. And carrying forward from there, when we were already talking about insurance and health, we have wonderful Mr. SLP Sanjay Kumar, sir, with us, the founder and managing director of Sanjay Speech Hearing and Rehabilitation Center. So, sir, I would really love to know that in the healthcare innovation and global collaboration domain, how can Bharat Rehabilitation and Healthcare Services, particularly in speech and hearing care, attract global partnerships and investment to scale access and quality, both domestically and internationally?
Yeah, so like speech language pathology field is little new in India, we can say that. And our expertise can help with the, we can say that tele-rehabilitation as well as with the rehabilitation tourism. It can help to the people. And there are certain communication disorder where treatment is like takes less time. For example, a condition called purephonia, where like boys will be having feminine kind of voice even after puberty. So in that, at our center, we have developed a customized program. Within 8 days, we correct that problem. So when the patient come from the outside, from different country, they will be having less time. So that kind of way, we can treat the faster treatment, and we can also create awareness about the communication disorder, and we can take help of the social medias with the before and after success stories with the patient permission. And so if we are creating like rehabilitation tourism, so it can create a job for the youngster, and it can help in the Indian economy as well. And we can also create an ecosystem where the professionals will be there, and when the patients will be getting less time for the treatment in certain communication disorder, we can also create assistive devices with the low cost in the global market. So in that way, we can move forward.
Wow. That's incredible, and I'm surprised how wonderfully a healthcare specialist is coming, doing the job creations and talking about it. That's wonderful, sir.
Yeah, we are already creating tele-rehabilitation from the year 2013 at our center, and our client list include people across the globe. So all the countries, people we have given services, including Russia, USA, UK. So we are creating, but we need more awareness because many people don't know this kind of treatment is possible. Actually, I am a speech language pathologist and audiologist, but I'm more expert in the voice disorder. So how I started my journey, first I try to create awareness with the social media, and then we attract international patient and national patient, and in that way we are helping to the people and creating we are helping in the Indian economy also. When the patient come from outside country, everyone gets benefited.
Wow, that's really incredible that how you're bringing, I would say, the foreign exchange to India through the international patients. And also, it's a social cause as well, that you are healing people. Incredible, sir. Carrying forward from there, we have wonderful Raj K. Rajput, sir, with us, the Chief Information Officer, CIO from... Oh, he's not there? Okay. So then we have wonderful Mr. D. Prasanth Nair, sir, with us, the CHRO, Crompton Greaves Consumer Electricals. I know Crompton, even I think it exists even before I would have been born. I don't know your age. That's wonderful, sir. That's wonderful.
So
but
if you're above 85, then no.
no, because how I remember, I used to manage a motor parts unit in '96. I was on the shop floor with the foreman. The motors we were using, they were from Crompton. So that was my source of earning pocket money. So it's incredible to host the CHR of the Crompton Greaves today with us. So when we're talking about how beautifully the Shining Bharat, sir, India is often called the world's talent capital. From a CHRO perspective, how critical is human capital in strengthening India's position as a preferred global investment destination?
Okay, thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for having me on the panel. I think we talk about Bharat Shining. I think integral part of Bharat Shining is the availability of talent in India. And there are two kinds of talent I'm talking about. One is a talent that is available in India, for India, and the large number of people that actually are Indians are going abroad and doing extremely well. So if you look at the AI summit that happened last week in Delhi, you'll find the number of CEOs that are actually Indians, like say Sundar Pichai or Satya Nadella, they're all Indians actually gone on to become great CEOs and leaders of organization. So Indian talent has proved themselves. Okay, but at the same time, there are questions that we need to ask ourselves, saying that why are these people actually going abroad? Why can't they stay in India and contribute? There's nothing wrong in going abroad. And you know, yesterday I think Pichai was in the cricket match that was there, and I was wondering, why does a Virat Kohli continue to play for India? Why does a Pichai go to US to work for Google? It's because cricket can afford Virat Kohli. Okay. And at a time when Pichai went abroad, maybe the corporate sector could not afford Sundar Pichai. So the question that all the organizations in India should ask is that, how do we attract the best talent to stay in India? Okay. Some steps, the government has taken some steps. We are moving very confidently on the AI and the digital platforms. If you go to Bangalore and Hyderabad, you find a lot of global capability center, which has the potential to employ the best of talent. The best of talent will work where they want to work. Please understand that. They have a market anywhere in the world. They will work where they want to work. They will not work where you want them to work. And that's the, I would say, challenge and an opportunity for all of us to ensure that we employ the best of talent in India if you have to reach Bharat Shining.
Wow. I am amazed, sir, how beautifully you have used metaphors to let us know the example of Virat Kohli and Sundar Pichai, sir. And I'm loving when we're discussing that the talent must stay in India, because again, it comes back to me that how I love India, despite I'm holding residency for 4 to 5 countries and operating in 65 countries globally. But India is in the heart, right? So I'm glad.
I'll just add to it. India is in the heart of everyone, but India needs to stay in the mind of everyone as well.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Wonderful, sir. So completing this, wonderfully you have completed it, that it's in the heart, it should be in the minds, and that is how then we can prosper and progress. And while I'm continuing, we have wonderful Gaurav Gupta ji among us. Let's have a huge round of applause for Gaurav Gupta ji. Thank you, Gaurav ji, for presiding over. So taking forward, we have wonderful Mr. Nitin Khindria with us, the CHRO Omega Psyche. Sir, I was just going through your company and it correlates very beautifully. I'm a scientist, I'm into e-mobility. I've made a folding scooter, and I believe each one of us has come across a scooter. I've made a folding scooter, you fold it, carry like a laptop in your hand, unfold it, ride it. Right? That has been a childhood kick into tech side. Now I'm working on that Pushpak Viman of Ravan, that you have a board underneath your feet, think and fly. Right? And we have lot many synergies when we talk about this. So I would really love to know that when we're talking about electric mobility, it is not just a technology shift, but a workforce transformation. from CHRO point of view, how different is a talent planning in the EV sector compared to traditional manufacturing industries?
It's a tough, okay, because manufacturing is the industry where two challenges are there. One, everybody needs very quick money nowadays. Okay, either it's an employee or the employer. Okay, whereas manufacturing requires a lot of investment also, a lot of patience also, because you need vision, you need velocity, and both the things require the right kind of a mindset also. When I say the right kind of a mindset, which means you talked about why 2047. We are not making the scooters, three-wheelers, trucks for today only, but to cater the need of the customer. Okay? And today's customers, or the yesterday customers, or tomorrow's customers, need is the one thing which is going to be dynamic, which means that you need to be on your toes every time whenever you are innovating in your product portfolio. Is it helping the customers to earn more? Is it helping the customer's family to have a right kind of a livelihood? Is it enough for them to reinvest in the Bharat Shining or not? If as a manufacturer, as a professional leader, we are not building the nation towards each one of them, we are somewhere losing our own authenticity. Skills which are required, it is not about the skill-based hiring or something like this. It is about the learning-based need to be encouraged. Today I may not have one skill, but do we have a learning attitude to build that skill or not? Is it the affordability also? Today, if I'm selling any of the product, because you talk about the two-wheeler, which is the commodity market, but three-wheeler is a commercial market. So you need to treat the commodity market as a commodity and the commercial product as a commercial product. If you are going from a three-wheeler to the four-wheeler, which is the truck, is it a 1 ton or a 7 ton or 11 ton or 30 ton? Your needs will encourage the affordability also. So you need, see, it's a holistic picture which you need to see into the thing. It's brand shining will come for Nitin, Khindria, for OSM, for Bharat, if we are authentic and we have a long-term vision. If we are a short-term operational guy, we will die today or tomorrow.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, sir. And so how, I would say quickly, you have deliberated so beautifully that whatever you're creating, whether it is augmenting the lives of the others, if it is, then it is purposeful. So if I would say if all the organizations, whether in a product or in a service line, if they start thinking on the same way, definitely it's a shining Bharat.
And see, I don't know that who will be thinking about it. So I'm the Chaudhary of myself, right? So I need to think first, right? I'm not here to convince my chairman. I need to convince myself.
True.
Is my hiring is into that, right? Sometime my talent acquisition comes in that you are rejecting the candidates from the Tata and Hyundai or the Toyota. That doesn't fit my Bharat Shining vision.
Wonderful.
Right?
Wonderful.
I'm here to build the careers. I'm not here to give the jobs.
Impressive. Commendable, commendable. Kudos to you, sir. And coming that from a CHRO point of view, it's incredible because it takes me way long back into 2015 when I founded this company, HoverRobotix. So people ask me the products I'm designing or innovating, they're not needed. I said they might not be needed today, but my vision is maybe 2035 when it's going to be the household need. So it is a 20 years long vision, but it is augmenting the life, it is giving a purpose. So I'm glad, sir, that we are on the same page and on the same frequencies. Carrying forward this deliberation, and I would now request my fellow panelists that on this one we will be very quick enough, as through the AI they have already sent me the message. that I have to be a little quick. So I will carry forward it again back to Mr. Alok Rungta, sir. Sir, we have discussed all, and when in the last question you talked about tier 1, right? So taking forward from there itself, when we talk that Bharat deepens its role in global prosperity, how can life insurance and pension solutions structured through global collaborations to enhance financial inclusion, especially for underserved segment of the population?
Yeah, I think that's a big opportunity. You won't believe in the last 20 days I've been traveling to a lot of tier 2, tier 3 cities. And I sometimes believe we need to change our perspective to them. Tier 2 doesn't seem like tier 2 anymore to me. They are really outgrown, most of them, and maybe already tier 1 in my mind, you know. And that reality hits only when you're on the ground. So one thing which I can tell you is, do we understand our tier 2, tier 3 better? To really do hyper-personalization. See, generally what we do, we create products which are standard cut across size, same for everyone. And we don't look at things differently from different perspectives. See, while it is one India, it is still not one India, right? Where we know that every 100 kilometers, dressing habit, food habits, languages change. But what we try to do is standardize into some SKUs and try to label them to a customer segments, which are say 5 segments, 6 segments. And we orient our products and thinking to that. While we say customization, but that is become customization. Those 5, 6 persona profiles, we are limiting ourselves to those customization. So one of the jobs which we are trying to achieve in our organization is how can we do hyper-personalization, treat each customer differently. First, understand the customer better, right? And now with AI, that's the power of technology, you know, at the point of sale, you can start understanding the customer better, and then using the tools, we have just launched a tool last month, where the tool can then suggest for this profile, exactly based on inputs, what is the solution for this customer based on his needs. Hereby taking the bias of the seller also out, bias of our standardization of people into 7, 8, 10 domains, you know, and it is specific based on what the person on the other side of the table is suggesting. Now, these kind of things are where technology, where global lessons, where global inputs come, designing of products, you know, designing of how to reach the last mile. Also, what it helps is your distribution costs also can go down a lot if you are smart in using technology. And that's the only way to reach Bharat. If you're having the same thought process of the way I sell in metros, the way I sell in tier 1, my customer is very different, the needs are very different. The good thing is the disposable income there has gone up. And another good thing is cost of living there is still moderate. I will not say it is cheaper as it used to be in the past, but still moderate and not as high as the metros. So people are happy to look at opportunities. In fact, sometimes I feel they have a phobia, they have missed the bus. In many places, they feel, oh, I have not participated in the rally, I have not participated in this thing. So they feel, you know, the FOMO kind of impression they have. And actually, they are more open to look at different solutions, different aspects. And I think we need to, as Indian and as it's our job actually, to go to them rather than expecting them to become a metro first and then we'll go there. In fact, if we reach them first there, they will become metro sooner than not.
Wonderful.
And as I said, they already moved tier 1 tier, I think. It's just a matter of time. And if you are there early, I think it's about also being present where the customer is rather than the other way.
Wonderful, sir. And I'm glad that how beautifully you have represented the real world picture, that when already the parity between the tier 1 and tier 2 is, I would say, disappearing. It's actually disappearing. Rather, if we talk about the percentage of the disposable income available, it's more in tier 2. Reason when you have already said that the cost of living is on the lower side, and because of the advent of the tech and the e-commerce, the earning resources, they have increased. So I'm glad, sir, that you have put forth these wonderful points. Carrying forward from there, I would love to know from Mr. D. Prasanth Nair, sir, that when looking forward towards, say, 2030, say 4 or 5 years from now, what skills or leadership qualities will define the next generation of Indian professionals competing on the global stage?
Okay, thank you. And, you know, I just want to add on to what he said. What we find in Indian youth are 3 things. One is they are hungry. They're hungry for success. They're humble. They're humble for learning. And they got great hopes. And that is what will actually drive India towards 2047. And, you know, you find in a lot of countries, these 3 things are not there. They're not hungry. And I think it's a great opportunity for India. But before I get into the leadership traits, I'll tell you what India as a whole stands for, right? What have we done well in the last few years that we are talking about Bharat Shining? One is the talent. We'll come to it later. The number two is that our social discourse, our religious basis that we have, gives so much strength to us. In terms of in the context of AI, analytical skills is not an issue, okay? You know what is, analytical skills is a given now, actually. But what is important is, it's not the answers, it's the questions that you need to ask. And that requires a deep level of awareness within yourself. And that's what our religion actually teaches us, okay? The third thing that we have done extremely well is launch of certain things like the digital public infrastructure that we have created. That actually is a great example of innovation at scale. Be it our COVID rollout, be it our FASTag that we are doing, we are actually seeing innovation at scale. Okay. The fourth thing that we have done very well is what I call the entire concept of Atmanirbhar Bharat. It's not an isolationist strategy, it's actually interdependent strategy. So at a macro level, things are in place. And that's what is giving us this, the drive and the hope that we will be Bharat Shining in 2030 or 2047. Now, I talked about the macro and I talked about the micro of hunger, hope, and humble. So what are the skills that connect these two? One, the ability to connect the dots. Okay? The analytical and logic is a given, like I said. It's always good to have questions that cannot be answered rather than answers that cannot be questioned. Okay? So the ability to connect the dots is a critical skill that's going to have. Number two, resilience. Okay? The world will go up and down. Job loss was a taboo for our generation, and for the generation before that, it was like something that I could not believe. But job loss will be part of the common person's life today. The ability to come back, ability to stay awake and create your own value is something very important. So I call resilience very important. And the third very important thing is, can you learn, keep learning, keep unlearning? It's the illiterate of the future, like someone said, illiterate of the future will not be people who cannot read and write. Illiterate of the future will be people who cannot relearn and unlearn. So this is all what I say. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, sir. How beautifully you have, I would say, in the last line, you have summed up everything, the word relearn. So when you said job loss, what was going on in my mind was job displacements. That it's going to be more of job displacements. If we can relearn, we can come back, we are there.
See, we are all got into a very linear kind of mindset, school, college, graduation, job, retirement, marriage, somewhere in between, or whatever you can call it, and then fading away. That linear cycle is completely changed today.
True.
Okay, you need to learn, work, and look at some of the young entrepreneurs who are creating value at 21, 22 years. That's the India of the future.
Very true, sir. Sir, I can totally resonate with you. I'm 44. I started working when I was 14.
You look 24.
Thank you, sir. I accept it as a compliment. So it's been 30 years. I started working in automobile industry in 96. Then coal mines, 1998. Then brick kilns, 2003. Then chemicals, textile, 2005. Then real estate, 2008. Then robotics, 2015. Then skill development, 2019. Then venture capitalist firm, 2021. And now we have created a global consortium. So this all has happened, what you have mentioned. It was always about learn, work, relearn, rework. And that has kept the momentum going. And thank you for mentioning this relearn part, because this is what I abide by. And I believe I'm a learner throughout the life. So taking forward from there, I would really carry forward this to Mr. Nitin Khindria, sir. Sir, as we are already, I would say, gearing towards future mobility. And India is, I believe, is going to be one of the biggest clean tech country in the world. So what do you think that do we have our workforce or the talent or the Gen Zs, they are already ready for the industries that don't even exist today?
I think intentionally you have designed very tough questions to me that I need to answer on the behalf of the 80 crore population. Are they ready or not? Okay, but that's intelligent question. See, what is important? Before we ask generation is ready or not, is industry is ready? Do we know that what exactly we want to do? Do government knows that what kind of a policy they are making and for how many years they are making it? Right? When Trump doesn't know that what kind of a tariff they need to put on which country, you are talking generations to follow on the H1 visa. Right? So something we need to design. Okay? Forget about the generation Z or something like this. Are we ready? Another challenge which India is facing, as you talked about, people above 40, they are losing the job. They have families. They have parents to look after. They have children to look after. They have to look after themselves. We are living in the insecure world. Why, when you talk about it's on a global event, why somebody is going to invest in India? If they see the stability, if they see the scalability, if they see the skill, if they see the quality in it. Are we giving them that or not? Any generation will work with us if any organization is able to give them these three things. If you have a career for another 30 years, either it's a linear or non-linear or whatever it is, either it's based on the technology or not. Somebody talked about the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. I will give you the another perspective. We are living in a metro, so-called. Now we have just a kilometer away from this place, you have Kakeda Dhaba, and opposite of that, you have a Minar restaurant. Now Kakeda Dhaba is, the chicken will cost you 250 rupees or 300 rupees. In Minar, it is going to cost 900 rupees. Now somebody is coming from the tier 2, tier 3 in a Mercedes, and somebody is coming from Delhi Metro by traveling in a metro train. It is about the resources, how you utilize that kind of resources, the mindset, that's more important. Why we are discriminating this whole of the business world into the tiers, into the diversity of the gender or the LGBTQI, we have a diversity of the mindset. Are we working on that mindset or not? Are we creating a mindset which can be authentically work on the design thinking? We talk about India as a skill, right? Kaushal Bharat, Skill India. Where is that Skill India is coming out? Make in India we are talking about. Why we are not talking about design in India? Borrowing something, assembling here, right? We have a different kind of an industry. So when we are not focusing on the right thing, if your inputs are not right, outputs are not going to be right at all. If you start working on your inputs, I may be a contradictory here, but start thinking about it. Way back in 2006, I visited one of the village. That village owner has a Scorpio. That village owner has 3 of the horses, 5 buffaloes, 3 cows, and I am coming from Delhi. I don't have a cooler at my place. Who is more rich? Who has a resources? So thinking on that kind of things, and that person is showing me his bedroom, and he got a paint from somewhere in Rajasthan. He bought it from the Rajasthan. और मेरे को white wash कराने के लिए भी I need not to have money in my pocket. So it is about how you are catering the whole of the Indians. We have a 150 crore population. 70% of the GDP comes from the family, Indian family-owned business owners. How we are treating those business owners? How we are compelling them to design by their own mindset, challenge their own mindset, build trust in the system. If those things are missing, how the coming generation will prove anything on a trustworthiness with the design thinking? So that's my challenge.
This question.
Please,
Okay.
sir, please.
So get the basics right. Okay. For example, programming, right? You could be trained in Python, but if you know the algo right, if you know the flow chart right, you could actually do vibe coding today in AI. Very well. Okay. My wife is a diabetologist, and she grew up. She would have studied prescribing metformin, right? But today she's prescribing that, what is that drug called? That fat reduction plus Ozempic. Yeah. So it's not that she studied Ozempic, but getting the basics right is very important. And that is what we need to focus on, getting the basics right, getting people to actually focus on relearning, unlearning, getting adaptability in their mind. That's what the education system needs to focus on.
Wonderful. I'm glad that both of you have deliberated so beautifully, sir, when you're talking about inputs, right? That is so true. If you go back maybe 4 or 5 years, if you get to hear my talks even on YouTube, I say the same thing that you mentioned. Very beautifully you have portrayed. That, yeah, please, please.
Now you again and again talk about the mobility business, right? How the automotive industry works in India is on the finance and the credit, right? Who is the EV owner in terms of commercial EV? Is the driver. What is the driver's CIBIL score? And who is giving me the CIBIL score? In my life, I never taken a loan. But there is some malpractice or something happen on my PAN or something like this, my CIBIL score is 0. Who asked for you to give me the CIBIL score? Unnecessarily, we are putting pressure on ourselves. Is it required or not required? Please challenge those kind of thinking also. If the financiers will not give the finance to these people, how they will buy EV? Ab EV ka, there is no residual value. Who is going to decide that residual value? There is another farm mechanization, right? Where if you ask for money to recover from the farmers, they are the Supreme Court and the High Court verdicts, which says that if you go to the farmers to ask for money, we will put you in a jail. What CIBIL will do? We would love to talk, which we love to hear. Right? But the real challenge is on the ground, it is there. Are we ready and are we designing each and every aspect of the business in that manner or not? Thank you.
True, sir. Totally agree that when the ground realities are different from the reality, the lives we are living or the life that has been portrayed, I totally agree with you. But that is why the purpose of this Bharat Shining Conclave, that is the purpose why we have gathered together here. That is why we are deliberating that how we can take it forward and how we can keep the torch shining. So thank you so much. My last question for this panel is to Mr. SLP Sanjay Kumar, sir. Sir, we have deliberated a lot. We have been talking about how India is shining, how we can take it forward, how the next generation we can handhold them. So on that, I would really love to know from you that will the rise of digital health and tele-rehabilitation across the world, how can Bharat leverage global expertise and capital to innovate scalable models for speech and hearing care that can be exported to other markets?
Yeah, it's a very good question. And so with the help of tele-rehabilitation, by creating a kind of ecosystem, we can reach to the people, those who can't reach to us. So we can reach to the international market. When we can help to the rural areas of India with the tele-rehabilitation. And of course, the multilingualism is also an important aspect. So if you are going to the different countries, giving the services. So I feel in my profession, like in speech language pathology and audiology, one extra language can be taught. So they can cover, while working with the tele-rehabilitation, they can work with the different countries' clients. And that will create a opportunity for employment. And again, it will add to the economy apart from giving services to our own country. So it's very interesting, and there is a lot of scope. I feel that whole world is our opportunities, like whole world is giving opportunity to us
Yes,
to explore the market.
That's true, sir. I totally agree that the opportunities are everywhere, and it's all up to us how we grab it. That as the way you are willing to work with all the different time zones, and about extra languages talking, it's incredible. So thank you so much for your inputs, and thank you for each one of you for being so cooperative to me. I am a little novice, I don't know much, so but you all have been too kind to me. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's have a huge round of applause for these wonderful dignitaries, guys. More energies, the louder. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was quite an insightful panel for us. Let's really have a huge round of applause for our panelists. Thank you, sirs, for your presence.